4th of July Smackdown. This show will be the return of John Cena. So John Cena comes out, gets a big pop. Fans chant John Cena sucks when he first comes out. Very over here. Cuts, an extremely patriotic promo. Same thing you've seen him cut a million times. Fans are very into it. He goes on and on. He talks about, and he makes the big announcement that's really worth noting is that the fact that he's going to be on both Raw and SmackDown. So he's a free agent, even though he's a free agent signed to. He's not a free agent because he's going to be on both shows, so he really isn't a free agent. But he's going to be on Raw and SmackDown since Raw can't draw shit ratings because Roman Reigns is a bust as a top guy and he can't draw any ratings. So they have to call the other top guy, John Cena. So he has to appear on both shows. I'm fine with that. That obviously is going to mean Reigns and Cena probably soon, probably WrestleMania. That's what I'm expecting. He goes on and on, very patriotic. Crowd's really into it, even though, that boo, at first they try to boo him, but then, they're all cheering because they deep down, I think they actually like him now, at least they respect him. Rusev comes out. At first Rusev was just sucking the air out of the fucking building. He was cutting one of the shittiest promos I've ever seen. It's like he's nervous. I think the guy is nervous. He doesn't even have his Russian accent, or his Bulgarian accent, all that through. He just loses it sometimes. I think the guy's nervous. I've noticed that. And, he just doesn't seem to have too much confidence on the mic. He's cutting a terrible promo. And so finally something goes his way. He says, well, Americans just want, on 4th of July, just sit around eating cheeseburgers and hot dogs, and the crowd goes nuts. It gets a huge yes chant. It was supposed to be heel heat, and he goes, well, that's not a compliment, you stupid Americans. So that was actually a good part of the whole segment. Cena challenges him to a flag match, but Rusev backs off, so I guess we're going to get Cena and Rusev at a Battleground. So that's something to look forward to. Yeah, right, we've seen this 2 years ago. We know how this ends, with Rusev getting buried, but Rusev doesn't really have much of a future with the company, in my opinion, right now. So even though he's going to lose to John Cena for the millionth time, it's not going to do any damage. 2 years ago it killed him. The damage was done 2 years ago. Now it's just something for Cena to do at a pay-per-view. After that, Daniel Bryan's in his office. Chad Gable comes in and so is AJ, and he makes a match with them. Winner gets into the Battle Royal. So, wonder who's going to win that. Yeah, right. Match is actually next, so hopefully AJ and Gable have a decent match. They're certainly capable of it. AJ and Gable actually had a very, very good match. The crowd was really into it. There was a slight "this is awesome" chant. And after the match, it's very notable, AJ Styles shakes Chad Gable's hand, putting him over. He beat him, but, it was kind of done to, get Gable more over. One thing that's interesting, no mention of Jason Jordan. I really hope they don't split America now. But, the last thing we need is for them to ruin another tag team like they ruined Enzo and Cass. That has a lot of potential. And speaking of splitting up tag teams, after that we go to a segment, the Hype Bros. They're clearly splitting them up. They tease tension. Yeah, that's clearly going to happen. Now we're going to have Carmella come to the ring. And one thing I really picked up on, I hope people realize, if you listen to my Raw review, which I went on a rant on about Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, and Carmella all on Total Divas. SummerSlam will have Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, and most likely a match with Carmella. Maybe she even wins the title. Maybe she'll cash in by then. So that's the reason why all the 4 horsemen are being overlooked for these fucking average wrestlers. Even though I like Alexa a lot, she's not that good in the ring. And yet, they have the 4 horsemen are probably not going to even be on the card. Maybe Charlotte gets on the card. She might, but Sasha and Bayley aren't. Becky probably for sure isn't. And yet, Total Divas rules again. This is the Divas division. Do not ever get that twisted. This is still and always will be Divas. So, Carmella was talking. Naomi came out. They went back and forth. Naomi sucks on the mic. She's not good. I think Naomi's very over. I don't understand why people get behind her. I think her gimmick is stupid. She's a likable person. She's a nice person. So I was happy to see her win the belt at WrestleMania. But ever since then, she's had the lame title reign. She hasn't been focused on as much. She's been working with a lot. 3-4 weeks in a row now. So it's hard to really blame her. But, I mean, I haven't enjoyed her title reign. I hope it ends soon. So I don't understand why people get behind her so much now. Now that, I mean, she hasn't been doing anything as champ. And she's not good on the mic. So what happens is they're going back and forth. Daniel Bryan comes out. He suspends Ellsworth. He kicks him out of the building. He says, if you don't leave, I'm stripping Carmella of the briefcase again. So, yeah, hopefully this is the end of Ellsworth. He's just a fan and everything, but I mean, this experience has been going on for way too long. What's the point of this guy anymore? Can they just please get rid of him? Fuck, just release this guy. There's no point of keeping him. I don't know what the fuck I just saw. All I know is the women who are the shittiest are getting the opportunities. You have Lana and Tamina on the show, and we haven't seen any Charlotte or any Becky. So fuck WWE, fuck Total Divas, fuck you on insisting pushing the worst wrestlers. I mean, you push them based off of their looks, or there have to be. I mean, the only way you get pushed right now is if you're on Total Divas or you're fucking part of the Anoa'i family. I mean, geez, why the fuck are they using Tamina? She's so bad. No Charlotte and Becky. No Charlotte and Becky. But we get to see Tamina and Lana every fucking week. Baron Corbin attacked Nakamura backstage. He beat him up, and Nakamura fought back. I do not give a fuck about that match, and they are going to kill Nakamura like I knew they would. I had some hopes, but maybe I think he'll probably win the match. I hope at least I think he most likely will win. But I mean, they'll probably kill him, so yeah, I'm losing interest so much in the product. Wale is in the ring. It's the rap battle segment. Just to say this, Wale is actually a huge wrestling fan. He's a mega fan. He even holds this thing every WrestleMania weekend called Wallymania. I really don't know what that is, but I mean, I know he's a massive fan, so it's kind of cool to see him in the ring. This has the potential of going 1-2 ways. It could be really entertaining, or we could have another LeVar Ball disaster on our hands. That was pretty fucking awesome. I thought that segment was very funny. Very entertaining. Took some good jabs at each other. God, I wish more stuff can be like this when they actually kind of use real life stuff and incorporate it into the storylines. You know, it's funny. They categorize the people who are on the internet as marks, yet every single time they'd reference something in real life, the fans would go nuts. So obviously a lot of the fans are following up on Twitter and reading the dirt sheets more than WWE wants to admit. So please use more real life beef or not more like real life events, incorporate into the storylines. They did reference Xavier Woods and Paige. They made a reference, so yeah, that's very notable. He said, I think one of the Usos says to Biggie, stay PG, don't get radar like her boy Xavier Woods, which is obviously a reference to when he fucked Paige a few years ago when the video got released, I think this past March, like a few weeks before WrestleMania, and like the whole road to WrestleMania was covered. There was like a bit of a puddle of cum, Bryan Manick's cum, covering the road to WrestleMania. So that was actually pretty funny a few months ago. I think this was a reference. They did this because Paige was actually at Slammiversary at GFW pay-per-view. She was front row wearing a mask. I think this was obviously done to take a shot at her. That's how I looked into it. Maybe I'm wrong. So I don't think they'd reference it. Another thing worth noting is they kind of brought up Total Divas, and they even referenced how one of the Usos is a lot in worse shape than the other ones. That's worth noting. So I found it to be actually very entertaining, and I thought Wale did a good job here, and I like him. He's actually a super fan. He's not just like some guy that's just there, because WWE asked him, and they think it'd be good publicity. He's actually a big fan, so that was actually kind of cool. I thought he did a good job. So moving on, Randy Orton's coming to the ring. Man, makes me want to change the channel whenever I see him now. Also worth noting, Wale was wearing an NWO Wolfpack shirt. That was actually kind of cool. Orton and Aiden English. I don't know why this guy hasn't been released. He's just a complete bomb. Aiden English has no talent. Can't do anything. So it's just going to be a squash match. I don't care. So I don't even know what to really say. It was just Orton beat him up. English cheap shot him first, and it was a match, and Orton threw the steps on him and killed him, like we'd all expect. Mahal comes out, and I'm just like, this guy just fucking sucks. How do people still support him? Unless you like trolling internet fans, why does anyone support Jinder Mahal? He fucking sucks. He's terrible. So that segment sucked. They announced Cena and Rusev as a flag match at Battleground. I'm not too sure about that. I don't really care much for that. Still really, I think this show, I don't think if it matters what happens at the Battle Royal, which is going to be entertaining. I'm always a big fan of Battle Royals, but I think that that New Day Uso segment was so funny that it just made the show a thumbs up, no matter what else happens. That stuff was actually great. So we had good comedy earlier in the show, and now we have some shitty comedy. Tyler Breeze is dressing up like a tranny. He's dressing up as Renee Young. It's just terrible. I don't even want to elaborate. Segment just sucked. Then you had Maria and Mike Kanellis being interviewed by Renee Young, and then they were interrupted by Sami Zayn, so I guess that means Sami Zayn is jobbing out to Mike Kanellis or Mike Bennett at the pay-per-view on Battleground. So yeah, Sami Zayn is booked like a complete and utter loser. I mean, they book him like such a geek and such a dork. I mean, when he's talking, you hear his music start to play. I have to go. It's like I hate this stupid sitcom comedy. It just doesn't fucking translate. It's just so bad. It just doesn't work. So Battle Royale is currently going on. I usually enjoy Battle Royals. I'm just not feeling this one too much right now. So AJ Styles had a great night. He beat Chad Gable, then he wins the Battle Royal. So very strong showing for AJ. Also in the Battle Royal, they gave Ty Dillinger a lot of good showing. He lasted until the final three, and Sami Zayn was the last to be eliminated by AJ Styles. So Battle Royal was entertaining. Kevin Owens attacked him at the end, but AJ fought him off, and I guess you have the good babyface celebrating as the 4th of July show ends. I thought it was a good show, but I mean, that segment with the New Day and the Usos was awesome. That was hilarious. I thought that segment was just great, and that made the show a decent show just for that. So, the rest of the show was okay. I would highly recommend anyone go on YouTube and watch the New Day and Usos rap battle.